Hey everybody, One Empire here. Today I've got a one of these new style shovels. It's like a tactical shovel. We'll go into the features in a little bit. I'm going to do a one-take review here. It's kind of an experiment. So we'll go ahead and turn the scale on. Start out with weight. Looks like approximately 2.8 pounds, 2.9, which is about 100 and almost 1155 kilograms, or grams, excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it for a second and get this camera mounted. Alright, so you've got the weight. It comes in this pretty decent nylon pouch that comes with the strap here, which will, be a shoulder harness. As we open it up, first thing we pull out is the shovel itself with one of the extensions on it. And so we'll go ahead and take this attachment off for now. We've got a couple of Velcro little straps here to kind of keep it in place, and this is a separate pouch, by the way. And this is essentially an unboxing. So a reverse threaded, interesting screw here. Before I go further, oh, there goes, we'll get that in a minute. So here's the construction. You've got a hex nut, and again, reverse threaded on this neck collar here. It looks like it feels awesome, by the way. It's really heavy. The majority of the weight is in the shovel itself, and this is definitely a pretty solid design. So obviously you can tighten it or loosen it. Got my little helper in the background there, thank you. Okay. As we take the sheath off, you wonder, why is there a sheath? Well, we've got this plastic. Obviously there's a lot of oil here. Trying to get close up. It's because this thing is very sharp and it's been machined a lot, and you can kind of see the little twin triangle design on there. We've got the serrated knife edge, which is definitely sharp. With the hook, one of the, I'm going to say 10 maybe, and a 12 millimeter, I don't know, but that's my guess based off of my, my own experience. And then you have essentially a knife edge here. I'm going to tighten up this. So it looks like you have a 0-degree mount. Let's see if we can go 90. There's other versions of these tools that have multiple mounting options. You could probably grind off this little angle right here, turn it into a 45, but it looks like you have 180 and 90 right here. So yeah, that's pretty solid. That's not going anywhere. So if you're gonna, dig a trench or, a bathroom thing, then that's going to work pretty well for you. And this thing can convert pretty quickly. Again, you have that really big washer on there, and we'll get to the knife portion, shovel portion, in a little bit, but I'm just going to try and show you for a second while it's on there. So here's one of the attachments, shovel handle pieces. This is obviously, if you've seen this type of thing before, the glass breaker. So let's see if it just fits right in here. Notice that there's an O-ring to keep this compartment dry. Let me back up. This is a potential storage right here, as far as I can tell. So if you need to put any type of survival gear that'll fit in there. So here we go. Alright, and as you can see, that it's starting to get a little bit longer. And again, I can't emphasize how much the weight of this thing and the sharpness that it comes out of the box. I'm super surprised. The spade itself is fairly sharp, but this is like at least axe worthy right here. And if you look at the thickness, well, you can't really see. The thickness of the material is pretty thick. You know, you can obviously sharpen this up to a very sharp blade, but I've never seen a shovel with this kind of attention to detail on the shovel itself. So I'm going to pause it for a second and move on to the next attachment. Alright, so here's the first little attachment part aside from the glass breaker. So it feels like it's some aluminum or something, I'm not entirely sure. So we have what appears to be a bottle opener, a knife, which is quite sharp actually, that's definitely pretty sharp, and then a saw. Obviously whatever type of metal this is going to determine how long it's going to last, how long it's going to stay sharp, and whatever. So we do have this fork here at the end as well. And so what I think the idea is you screw this in here and then attach it to the end of your shovel. Got that backwards. Let's try that again. Okay, so I had it right. So basically you have a little knife saw here. If you want to make it longer, you can attach multiple of them. And obviously for this one, storing it is going to take up this whole cavity here. So fortunately it's threaded in a way that you can store it. Just one thing I've noticed, this base here, this part right here, feels like it's plastic as far as I can tell. And you don't want to screw it in so far that you can't, you know, get your threads in there. So make sure that it's engaged properly, but it's not necessarily all the way tightened down because this will get in the way. So for shovel purposes, you just want to make sure that this thing is below this level right here. So we'll go and do that, and then attach it to the handle of our first glass breaker that we talked about. Again, snug it down with that O-ring, keeps it nice and water resistant at the very least. So for a quick update, here's the two attachments, the knife and the glass breaker onto the shovel. Here's the kind of length that you're looking at now. Let's see if I can put my arm on there on camera. So it's about, I don't know, arms to fingertips. Alright, here's the last but not least attachment. So it's obviously, pull this thing out of here, kind of stuck. Oh, that's why. So there's this compass, which I don't know how accurate that is. I'm gonna have to put it in the comments or something, but there's definitely some sticky material going on here. So this is, if you can't tell, a flat head screwdriver, and here's kind of looking around. Let's pull it out and see what happens. Okay, so you have your standard hex. It seems like this is plastic, so if you know any machinists, it might be good to replace this with an aluminum part. Maybe it is aluminum, and I just can't tell right now. But upon initial inspection, that's kind of what my idea is. So we'll do a close-up of the Phillips screwdriver. I like this because if you do happen to have other bits or carry the bits with you, it really gives you a lot of options for a screwdriver. And I like this you know, more robust knurled grip as opposed to some of the other ones. It's a really solid feel in the hands, and this would be good just as a screwdriver. Alright, so we'll put it back as it is because the compass is coming loose here. So let's see what we have in here. Okay, oh nice. This is a flint. That's pretty cool. It was loose, you know, so you want to make sure it's tightened down. But that is your flint. That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna see if I can like make a spark with it. Alright, well I don't have a knife on me right now, but I'm sure that's a flint. So fire starter, awesome. You could keep some kindling in there, maybe some wet, you know, Vaseline soaked cotton balls, or some wet fire tablets. You know, this little thing doesn't take a whole lot of space, and so I think that would be a pretty awesome option for camping or even a survival technique. Take note that as I put this on, this gasket seems to be compressed already, so it needs to be replaced with something a little more robust. I don't feel any resistance when I'm closing this, suggesting that the gasket's doing its job. Just an FYI. So it appears that this compass is crap. So take it for what it is. Last step, I'm gonna go ahead and attach it to our handle here, which we can't do like this. Okay, give me a second. Okay, folks, so turns out when you're making it a shovel, you want to have the saw knife in place, and then you actually put it into the spike. So that allows you to go ahead and put the spike into the main handle. And attach the compass end. So there we have the fully assembled shovel. Whoops. Okay. So here it is. It basically goes from fingertip to armpit. I'm about 6 feet tall, almost. So what is that? Let's take a measurement. Should have told you the specs in the beginning, but you know, what are you gonna do? So it looks like it's about, we're gonna call it 29 inches, 29 and a half, let's say. So there it is. Let's go ahead and convert it to 90 degrees. Oops. And this is a really solid feeling, you know, thing again. So here we go, 90 degree shovel. I'm gonna go ahead and take this plastic off and show you the blade and cut a couple things, I suppose, to show you how sharp it is from the box. Alright, got the light on, so I'm going to go ahead and take this shield off. You can see there's a lot of oil on there. I'm going to leave it just because I'm not necessarily going to use it right away, and I'm sure this is, if this is a, you know, depending on what type of steel this is, which I'm pretty sure this is steel, it may be prone to rust or not. So some improvements I could think of right away are, you know, giving it a coat of some kind of a rust inhibitor or a paint. It would take away from the little design they have here, but would probably extend the life of the shovel. This blade here is fairly sharp. I think you could slice and chop with it. It's probably the equivalent of like a dull cleaver, maybe. I'll try and get a close-up of it. I don't know if I can do that. So, I don't know if you bladesmiths can tell me what kind of an angle that is, but it's a single angle right here coming up to a flat edge, so that could potentially be sharpened if you can change that angle to a very, very sharp blade. And then as far as digging goes, this thing could dig pretty well. I mean, what the heck, let's go take it out for a minute. We'll dig right here. Alright, it's a little bit challenging without a long handle, so let's go ahead and try it as a spade. Alright, so you can definitely get some stuff dug with this, especially if you have it fully assembled. Its weight and its size make it kind of not so great for one-handed use, but if you want to do a little bit more serious digging, I think it's going to work really well. As you can see, oops, zoom in here. The edges are, I was hitting some rocks and stuff, so it's been obviously weakened a little bit, but these edges on the side are still really sharp. You know, with your hook here, that's definitely very sharp. And this remains to be fairly sharp. Needs to be sharpened if you want to make it really tight. So all in all, that's my initial review, unboxing basically of this thing. There's a bunch of different variants on Amazon right now. I guess I can provide a link and try and make some money if you guys want to buy one. That's not the intent of this video, because I don't even have that link right now. But just to make it easier on you and maybe get a little bit of pocket money out of it. I'm not endorsed by anybody or paid I paid for this thing full price, and just looking for, you know, something I could dig to make some little holes in the ground to go poop in and stuff when we go camping, and have some, you know, extra utility to it. Because why just have a shovel when you can, you know, put tinder in there, have a glass breaker, and all the other stuff we talked about. So hopefully this is helpful. I didn't see a whole lot of videos of this type of tool when I bought it, so the intent of this video is to kind of show it and give buyers an opportunity to see what they're kind of getting into for your hard-earned money. Please like, subscribe, comment. Maybe I can make another video if you guys want to see something specific. Thanks for watching.